Monarch. Let's get more reaction now to that message. Joining me, royal commentator and biographer Claudia Joseph. Claudia, first of all, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for joining us here on Sky News this afternoon. Your reaction to the King's first Christmas message, such a set piece of this festive period.
Well, I thought it was very interesting because he obviously wants to ensure there's continuity going on within the royal family, that he is his mother's legacy, that he's going to follow in her footsteps. He referenced her a lot during the speech. He obviously talked about her faith and how important that was. But equally, he talked about his own role and the way he's going to do things. And he very much, obviously, he referenced the fact that he's head of the Church of England, but equally he talked about other faiths, people with no faith, and how important Christmas was to them. It was a very inclusive speech, I thought, for the country as a whole.
Yeah, he said the meaning of Jesus Christ's birth crosses the boundaries of faith and belief. And since Charles became king, he's now King Charles, a lot of people have wondered what kind of king he would be in terms of addressing issues that he's been very vocal about in the past. And in this message, he talked about the armed forces, the emergency services, health and social care, teachers, all those, in fact, in public service, who are going through a difficult time at the moment. The cost of living crisis is squeezing everyone. A lot of public service workers out on strike. Are you surprised that he featured them so prominently, or is that something you would have expected him to address?
I think it's something he has to address. I think the country and the world has been going through a very tough time. The cost of living crisis, COVID, Ukraine. These are global problems that we all have an interest in and are suffering as a result of. So I think it would be impossible for him not to acknowledge that people are having very difficult times. I don't think that that's political. I don't think that he's saying, I expect the public services to go on strike. He's very much, in a way, harking back to his mother during COVID times when she was hailing the emergency services, when we were clapping for nurses, talking about the remarkable community spirit of people and how important they are to making life bearable for the people that are having very tough times at the moment.
Yeah, he talked about the late Queen's faith and her faith in people, to the hallmarks of that being goodness and compassion. He said that was the essence of our community and our society. Again, you know, he wanted to pay particular tribute to those who had donated food during this cost of living crisis, and in particular, their time. So this is a king that is very much saying, I see what's going on. I hear what's going on. He's out and about talking to people, as the royal family were this morning at Sandringham for Mass.
Well, I think it's very interesting for those of us who were born under the Queen's reign, because, of course, when she died, the monarch was quite elderly and she was a woman of a certain generation. And now, although King Charles is not a young man, he's grown up in a different era. And I think he appreciates that although he has a very privileged background himself, he does talk to people, he does meet people from all walks of life and is very conscious of their plight. I think he is a deeply religious man, and I think he's also very conscious of what the country and indeed the world is going through at the moment.
The 6-minute message concluded with an appeal to heed the everlasting light, which King Charles said was a key aspect of his mother's faith in God and belief in people. He said, so whatever faith you have or whether you have none, it is in this life-giving light and with the true humility that lies in our service to others that I believe we can find hope for the future. Just looking ahead a little, what will King Charles be now doing over the Christmas period? Does he get a break? Because obviously, since the death of his mother, it has been pretty non-stop. That sense of duty, the duties, kick in straight away. What happens to the king over Christmas and the New Year?
Well, I think he definitely needs a break. He talked about the poignancy of people who've lost a loved one at Christmas, which is definitely true. And of course, he's been very fortunate until recently when his father died and his mother died, because, you know, he's 75 and he's grieving really for the first time in his life. Obviously, he lost his beloved grandmother. But I think that he's very conscious that his role is very important. But equally, I think he's going to have to take some time for himself. He looks heartbroken still, unsurprisingly. I mean, it's only been a few months. He is supposed to be breaking the Queen's mould, and he's going to go up to Birkhall, his beloved estate in Scotland, to spend some time up there with the Queen Consort and hopefully have a break, I think, for the first time in quite a while.
Claudia Joseph, thank you so much for speaking to us here on Sky News this Christmas Day. Claudia Joseph, their role commentator and biographer, with her thoughts on the King's first Christmas message. You're watching Sky News. Coming up, we're going to be speaking to a former royal butler about the royal family's festive traditions.
As the year draws to an end, reflecting on the last 12 months, a year that saw the uniting of people through adversity, after a long time separated, while others shouldn't have been.
This is it, folks.
It was a year of roaring together for the lionesses and of quietness to pay our respects, of an end of an era to a start of a new, from disbelief to hope, of people being at the heart of our stories. As we collectively look back at the year and look forward to the start of a new, we thank you for being there with us. From us to you.